Hi, ladies and gents, and welcome to a new Athens PS video. In today's video, I'm going to show off how good each and every weapon is that people usually progress through on their journey on Athens. This includes, I'm also going to try and match the gear you will most likely have with a corresponding weapon. This could be different from what you have at the moment, but I think this is the closest I can possibly get to making a guide like this. I will start off with the starter weapons and go all the way up to the 2.5k weapons. For today's giveaway, I'll be giving away 3 Box of Luxury Prestige. One will go to a random commenter, one will go to a winner in my personal Discord, and one will go to the first person to PM me the hidden code in this video on Discord. Sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy today's video. Once you start off on Athens, it's most likely that you will head to train first on the Untouchables, because you need to kill 50 of these to unlock the first monsters in the game. So I'm gonna start off by showing off the magic weapon. As you can see, it has like an average output of around 150 to like 200 damage maybe. And now we'll get to the range weapon, which as you can tell already has a double hit, so it's already a lot better. And the sword is by far the best thing here. You can literally like 1 or 2 shot these things. You can hit 1 case with this. Alrighty, and once you killed 50 of these untouchables, it's most likely that you will try and get yourself the animal bow. This is easily obtainable when you vote one time and you sell the scrolls. And this is what your animal bow should look like. You can also get it from the AFK point shop, but that just takes way too long if you start off. It's a good thing to do overnight maybe, the AFK zone, because you will most likely get it in the morning. If you like start playing at 12 AM and you want to stop at like 12:30 or something, you can AFK overnight and get the animal bow that way. Or you can just vote for it and sell the scrolls. Alrighty, the next thing that you're most likely doing is gonna be Pest Control. Alrighty, and once you accumulated enough points for the Void set, this will most likely be your next upgrade. As you can see, I got myself almost 24,000 Pest Control points, and you might figure this is spawn, but it's actually not. I did a lot of streams, and that way I actually got myself so many points. And a little bit later, you will have yourself the full ranged magic or melee setup for the Void, whatever you want, to be honest. I would personally go with magic, as that is probably your best upgrade after the animal bow. But for the video's sakes, I'm actually going to upgrade this to Elite Void and go from there. The difference isn't that huge, and it just saves a lot of time. And there you go, all the sets have been combined into the full Elite Void set. It's a pretty decent set early on. And just a little side note, there is a possibility you want to go for the Void Staff, the Void Bow, or the Void Sword. I see literally nobody buying the sword, so I wouldn't bother with that. Probably the Void Staff is a pretty good weapon early on if you don't want to go with the Animal Bow. I'll compare the stats really quickly for you guys. There's plus 8k in magic. And here you can see this bow gives plus 57k, so it's really what you want, to be honest. The damage output for these weapons isn't that huge of a difference, but I guess every little difference counts, right? And if you're an Iron Man, I would probably go with the Void Staff, because that's a weapon you can easily obtain in the first day on an Iron Man. Ready? Here's the damage output for the bow. As you can see, it hit quite hard. And here's the damage output for the Void Staff. It's really up to you what you want, to be honest. I would personally go with the Animal Bow. Just a better weapon. Oh, and by the way, for this guide, I'm actually going to like go and progress through the monsters that you would most likely kill at your level as well. So I'm trying to skill everything as good as possible. Alrighty, and after a little while of playing, you will most likely have yourself enough money to buy any of the Hope items. I would personally go with the Hope Staff, to be honest, as it doesn't require any ammunition. Also a very decent weapon overall, and this thing is basically like your first raid weapon, I guess. Should be able to do raids with this. Alright, and at this point I do assume you will have yourself enough money, or you actually grind it, for the Infinite Overload Potion and the Unlimited Prayer Scroll. So I will be using those items from now on in the inventory. So you should take account that's also boosted. Alrighty, the items that we are gonna be showing off from now on will be a little bit more expensive than the ones we talked about before. We're coming to the Revenant items right now. These are 4 different items actually, the Twisted Bow, the Revenant Staff, the Rapier and the Scythe. Been a while since I actually used these items. These have like an average output of around 2000 per hit. After testing them out for a little bit, I can definitely tell the Scythe is by far the best thing here out of the 4. Depending on your setup, of course. But with Elite Void, this is probably the best thing you can get right now. The Staff is also a pretty worthwhile weapon, to be honest. Especially because of the range. I would probably prefer this one over the Scythe. Or things like Slayer tasks and stuff, and the Scythe for stuff like raids if you're into that. Alrighty, and moving on to the next weapon set will be the Blood Raids items, which are the Blood Grassy and the Elite version, the Scythe and the Elite version, the Bow and the Elite version, and the Staff and the Elite version. As you can see, the bow is probably not that great, to be honest. I think most people would prefer the Sang Staff from here. I think most people will prefer the Blood Sanguinity from here. Aside from the Elite items, of course. And the difference between these items is 2000 in their respective style. And the difference between a normal one and the Elite version is around 2000 in their respective style. So this one has like 12k magic bonus and this one will have like 14k. And you might wonder, is that actually a huge difference? Yes, it is. I did around 5 of these skills right now. And I can definitely tell the Blood Sanguinesti is way quicker. And probably the weapon that most people are after are the sights, I'm not gonna lie. Especially because it became such an iconic item in RuneScape overall. So let's test out this bad boy. Yeah, I would definitely say the sight is the best here again. On raids and stuff, because it just has more DPS output. But if I was to be on a Slayer task, I would most likely prefer the staff, just to make it a little bit more AFK. Let's move on again. Alrighty, and now we came to the weapons that are actually a lot of money. The Vorkath crossbow, the Vorkath bow, the Krill sight and the Zamorak staff. The reason I'm not putting on prices on them at the moment is because they fluctuate a lot, to be honest. Sometimes this staff goes for around 4 quadrillion and sometimes for 2. So you really gotta get lucky with it, I guess. Or you just have to await a good offer. Alright, from this point on I will be ditching the Elite Void set. It's probably still a pretty worthwhile set to get. And I see a lot of people use it still with these items, but I'm just gonna upgrade it for now for the people that want to like equally upgrade their gear corresponding to their weapon. Alright, so the first set that we are gonna be testing out is the Zamorak set. And at this point it's very likely you will have yourself an owner cape as well. These are not that expensive, even though you might think because it's an owner item. They're not that expensive, to be honest. They're like 2 quadrillion, I believe. You could go for a fancy one and go with the Uncle Sam owner cape, but you will pay a little bit more. There we go. And at this point, I don't think you will have the owner ring and the necklace yet. So I'm just gonna put in one of them. I'll put in the necklace for now. And I don't have a Zamorak body on this account at the moment. And I already asked the staff to spawn so much stuff for me, and I cannot really be bothered to ask them more. So we're gonna go with the whole body for now. Ready, let's see the damage output of the Zamorak stuff. Yeah, and as you can see, we can already hit 10k with this one. So the overall damage output is a lot higher. And actually, you could consider the Zamorak stuff one of the endgame items, to be honest. Because right after this, we get the Seismic weapons, and then the Telos Rage weapons, then the $1,000 weapons, and then the 2.5k. We're probably in the endgame with these kind of items, to be honest. Alright, let's test the Vorkath bow, actually. And as you can see, the monsters from here on actually do take a while to kill as well. The HP skill's pretty good on this server, to be honest. It would literally be useless to come here with like a Blood Sanguinesti, I think. That would take way too long. Just wouldn't be worth it. And you could choose if you want to get yourself the Vorkath bow or the Vorkath crossbow. I would never go with the crossbow, to be honest. Just get the bow. Alrighty, and here we got the Krill set. See how much that does. And you can already tell melee is kind of like the superior style on Athens. It just hits way more than all the others. But on the other hand, you will have to walk to all of your enemies. The other items had like an average output of like 7.5k, I think. And this one is definitely over 10k. Very nice, let's continue on. Alrighty, and now we are at a set that is probably quite hard to obtain, I'm not gonna lie. These weapons cost a ton of money in game. You have the Seismic Wand, the Mall, and the Seismic Bow. And then also the upgraded version. And you can upgrade these things by adding a Omni item to them. So that is, for example, for the melee, that would be the Krill sight, would make the Seismic Mall U if you combine the Seismic Mall and the Krill sight. And for the bow, it's the Vorkath bow and the Vorkath crossbow and the Seismic Bow to make the U. And for the wand, it's the Zamorak staff, the Seismic Wand. That will make the upgraded version. Alright, from now on, I will be using the Omni set, because at this point you have played for so long probably that you will know how much most of the weapons do, damage-wise. So I'm gonna upgrade my gear and let you know what I ended up with. Alright, so this is the gear I ended up with. It's full Omni almost with the owner items and the Sun Slayer helm. This thing is extremely hard to obtain, so I wouldn't really think you would have it, but for the video's sake, I'm just gonna use it. Alright, let's test out the Seismic Mall. The damage from here will actually increase by a ton. Yeah, as you can see, we went from like 10k hits to like an average of like probably 25 to 30k per hit. And the monsters that you kill right here are not really worth killing anymore at this point. You will most likely be doing Prestige Slayer tasks from now on. Alright, let's try this out at Vorkath actually. I think you can just out DPS Vorkath here. Yeah, and as you can see, even Vorkath dies hella quickly with this. Alright, let's test it out with the Seismic Wand actually. And you can get yourself the crystal plate legs from here, for example, or the body or the helm. And the Omni set is actually like a Tribrid set, so you shouldn't really bother to upgrade from here. Alright, so killing Vorkath with the Seismic Mall was around 5 seconds. With the wand it was around 7 seconds, and with the bow it was around 10 seconds. So go whatever you want for. Alright, and the difference between the Seismic Mall and the Seismic Mall U is you have yourself a strength bonus of 70k, as you can see right here. And with the Seismic Mall U it's 72k. With the Seismic Wand, it is 232% magic damage, and with the U version, it's 235%. And with the bow, it is 53k And with the U version, it's 55k actually. But yeah, as you can see right here, below all your stuff, you can see max hit 14k. And with melee, it goes all the way up to 16k. And with the U version, it goes up to like 16.8k. So you can definitely tell melee is like the superior version on Athens. And a little while ago, melee actually got a 10% damage buff as well. Yeah, as you can see at this point in the account, you will be able to farm yourself some money quite quickly actually. Right, now let's head on to the very big boy items. Those being the Comet Fall Mace, the Netherstrand Bow, and the Mirage Staff. And the difference between the Seismic Mall U and the Comet Fall Mace, your max hit goes all the way up to 18.4k. So let's see how much that pokes here. And those difference might not seem like a lot, but because it hits so incredibly quickly, it's actually a big difference. Yeah, we're literally smacking it in like 3 or 4 seconds. Alright, let's test out the Netherstrand Bow as well. Quite curious actually, I never used this weapon before. Yeah, as you can see, you could go for these weapons. I would personally go for the Comet Fall Mace. Maybe that's because I like melee as well the most. Alright, let's test out the Mirage Staff as well. Yeah, magic is definitely the weakest thing here. You can tell already. The kills with magic take almost twice as long as it did with the Comet Fall Mace. Alright, and now onto the weapons that you would normally only could donate for. You can use in-names for it, I think. Alrighty, and now moving on to the 7 DX weapons, being the Warhammer Gideon, the Holy Staff Corehouse, and the Spirit Spear Castival. These are all from the 7 Deadly Sins. And these weapons are very good. They cost $1,000 each in the donator store. Or you can buy them sometimes for like $400 on very special occasions with deals. You just gotta be the first one, I guess. They only do 1 or 2 of these sometimes. And if you were to buy these, I would still go again with the Warhammer Gideon. And I'll show why. And at this point, I do assume you will have yourself a pet as well. I'm just gonna summon the Greater Krill pet for now. Let's see how much we can hit on Vorkat. Yeah, as you can see, Vorkat literally died in like 2 or 3 seconds again. Let's test out the Holy Staff Corehouse as well. Alrighty, and let's check the Spirit Spear Castival as well. Let's see how much damage this thing does. Yeah, once again, your best bet will be the Warhammer Gideon, the melee weapon. Alrighty guys, and now I will be going absolutely nuts on the damage. I will put on all of my best gear that I have at the moment. All the owner items, the Vengeance Custom, Vinny's Custom, the Staff of Betrayal, which is a $2,500 weapon, the owner teddies. There's basically no better set in the game than this. And here again, I will show off the magic version, which is the staff of course, and the melee version being the Black Divider. Also a very cool weapon. And the bow. I'm not 100% sure whose custom this is, but I think it looks pretty cool. Especially because you can wear it with owner teddies. These things must be my favorite thing in the game actually. And something they introduced in the store as well is the 200% drop rate token. You can just claim this thing and you will have an additional 200%. And at this point, I assume you have yourself an Omni pet as well, or like a superior Telos pet. So I'm just gonna swap this thing out for the Omni pet. And I'm not gonna lie guys, it's quite hard to skill what kind of gear you would have, as a lot of people go different routes with this. I'm just gonna assume what you should have or could have at this point. So I'm sorry if it's not the same as you have, but there's really nothing I can do about that, to be honest. Right, let's test out the staff first. The damage from here is actually going to be insane. Yeah, as you can see, we hit 100k almost. And this is not even with all the possible damage boosters on. This is just like the plain set. The Lesser Telos has 5 million HP and we're literally shredding through it at the moment. Alright, let's test the bow as well. Yeah, as you can see, we're hitting very close to 100,000. Let's see if we can hit 100,000. That would be pretty cool. Alright, let's check out the sword as well. That's the last thing we have at the moment. Yeah, as you can see, we just hit 110k. I like the animation on this thing as well. I think this is Vengeance custom as well. Looks pretty sick. And if you've been playing Athens for a long time, just seeing this is pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. Out of all the weapons, I would probably prefer the Vinny stuff. It's just a super cool item with the teddy bear on it. Even though it just hits a little bit less. Alrighty guys, this is basically what I got for you today. I went all the way from the starter weapons to like the best set in the game possible. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. It was quite of a long one. So if you're still here, thank you. I hope to see you on Athens soon. Bye bye.